Hey guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. I greatly appreciate them. This is an all signs forecast. It's a collective reading, so it is shared by everyone. It is originally created for Wednesday, the 13th of July, but it is not solely set for that date. If you're seeing it on a different date and it still makes sense to your life or a situation you're dealing with, by all means, please utilize it. If it doesn't make sense or it doesn't seem to fit, that's okay. You're not doing anything wrong. You're not off your path or anything like that. It just may not be your reading at this time. So essentially just sort of take what you need and leave the rest. You have to figure out if and where this video fits in your life, if at all, okay? For those of you that are new, please check out the drop-down menu underneath any of my daily videos. In there is housekeeping rules, how to contact me for a private reading. The decks that I'm using are listed there, if you're interested in that. Also, ways to support the channel is in there. Let me just explain to you, great ways to support the channel is hitting that thumbs up symbol if you like my readings. It greatly helps the YouTube algorithm and it helps them to send out, if I get high like ratios to view ratios, then they send out my videos to other viewers potentially that might enjoy my content. So that greatly helps. Leaving a question or comment, even a hello, letting me know that you're here, especially if you're new to me. I love to see those, so I greatly appreciate that. Sharing the video out on your social media feeds or in your groups, wherever it was, utilized and welcome. I greatly appreciate that too. And then subscribing. If you like my content, it is a daily channel that I do put up content daily. Hit that notification bell so you get notified when I go live and or when I put up new content so that you can stay in tune with us, so to speak. For those of you that want to see the daily a little bit early to prepare for the energy that's coming, you can always subscribe to my Patreon channel and you get the daily forecast a day early. It gets uploaded over there a day early. Beyond that, that's pretty much it. I will reference the Sunday underpinning reading, which will populate in the lower left-hand corner of this video. If you don't understand or why I'm talking about cards that aren't present in this particular video, I'm referencing back to the underpinning energy, the cards that show us kind of what lies beneath this week. So check that out too, and also give that video a thumbs up too if you enjoyed it. So let's see what the card is for today. It's interesting to me, the Sunday reading, I'll say this, was not super, it was a little bit, I don't know, in my personal opinion, it felt a little bit scary. I'll be honest. But yesterday's reading felt like there might be a shift taking place, or that the changes and transformations that are taking place this week are actually to our benefit. So I kind of like that. Yesterday's reading sort of surprised me. Even the reading before with Justice surprised me too. I don't think we're at the whim of, stressful situations, so to speak. So keep that in mind as we move through this week. So we have our card for today, which is the Four of Cups. This is apathy, meditation, and disconnection. We may need to take some time out. Cups is that suit of the element of water, right? It is that suit of the emotions. Fours are about foundations, right? Stability. Bringing that stability into our life. If there's a situation that's going on around us that we're not necessarily feeling connected to or sure about, we're not sure how to make that decision, and we may feel torn emotionally or pulled in two different ways, or we don't necessarily feel like we want to make a decision, I feel like this Four of Cups would indicate that that's okay. Staying solid and checking in with our emotions and how we feel is going to be key. The thing with this particular art in this card is that these footprints in the sand with the water washing over them says to me that this too shall pass, right? That whatever we might be feeling emotionally, if we are feeling disconnection or reluctance to make a decision or a choice, that if we're patient and we sit still or check in with our emotions, we could very easily find that the situation, the terrain, the ideas, the possibilities could change or transform right in front of our very eyes. And I don't mean that in a bad way. What I mean is don't jump to conclusions, don't be hasty. Don't, I would say listen to your emotions, right? But also don't let them lead you in a direction that might feel, I don't know, impulsive or inappropriate or create more stress or upset for you. Does that make sense? Underpinning this card in the midweek is that King of Wands. King of Wands is about taking action, making decisions, making things our own, following our desires. If we have certain desires going on that we're not sure if they're going to pay off, or we're not sure that they're the right desires, or is now the right time, that would be this Four of Cups energy. I would say this Four of Cups to me feels like maybe taking a pause, taking a moment, and trying to decide within ourselves emotionally, is this the right decision? Is this the best action? Is this the appropriate steps that I need to take? Remember, I get this impression with this water washing over these footprints is that the path that we think we're on, or the path that we're moving towards, it could transform, it could change. Even if things are looking a little bit bleak or are challenging, don't let that challenge stop you, right? Don't let that challenge it's like the King of Wands to me feels like take action where we can when it's appropriate, is my feeling. Because that King of Wands also is one of the most pensive King of Wands that I've ever seen in any deck. He's usually like very much like, I go after it, I don't think about it. This to me says that there's a pause. We need to like stop and maybe check in with ourselves emotionally before making any swift decisions, okay? This is the White Light Oracle. Let's see what it is. Cupio Dissolvi, this is the card for the week, right? This card is number 2. Twos, to me, oftentimes can be about relationships. It can be a relationship to ourselves, to a job, to a situation, to another person. Cupio Dissolvi, the story is about kind of allowing things to sort of separate. How do I want to say this? If I remember correctly, the story is about how we feel emotionally towards something, if it's negative or intense or challenging in any way. This is about allowing our heart to open up and be free and be at peace while we're in the midst of maybe making this decision or taking these actions that we're maybe not 100% sure about. Does that make sense? Let me read you Cupio Dissolvi. And it's funny because yesterday we had card number 1, which was all about love, and then when I open up the book, it's right at that page. So it's time to let go. Things are working out in their own way. Trust that your heart is wise and it's leading you on a soul healing journey in the right spiritual path. Spirit wants to bring to you a blessing and a resolution, but you must let go and allow it to happen. Events are unfolding according to a higher plan. Even if your plans are going awry, know that all will come together at the right time and in the best way possible. Surrender your struggle and hold on to your faith. Now remember, this is the underpinning card of this week. So during the transformation of death and that 7 of Swords that we see in the Sunday reading and the King of Wands, we're supposed to like free ourselves up a little bit. Maybe don't make any firm, hard decisions yet. Don't let our emotions overtake us. Sit with our emotions, certainly in the 4 of Cups, but don't allow them to be indicators of making a harsh or rash decision, is my feeling. So I'm going to go back to reading. You do not need to be in control in the order you do not need to be in control in order to be safe and have things work out in the best possible way. In an often spiritually deficient modern culture, we have developed a kind of mystical amnesia. We have forgotten the genuine, effective, and astonishing power of a spiritual intervention that can be evoked by an open heart. This oracle brings you the message from Spirit. There is a problem in your life that seems very real and substantial, yet if you approach it from a more mystical perspective, desiring spiritual connection and healing, that issue can dissolve. It can be absorbed into spiritual light and be healed. It can transform in such a way that your current viewpoint of suffering will cease to exist. There is a path for healing you have yet to recognize. As you let go of what you think should or must be, you will recognize a perhaps unexpected path to your true healing and inner fulfillment opening up before you. The Latin phrase Cupio Dissolvi refers to a desire to dissolve, to be absorbed into the luminosity of the soul, where there is beauty, relief, and peace. To enter into such a state requires a loosening of our attachments and fixations upon our problems in the physical world. This does not mean we deny our troubles. In letting go, we give spirit permission to heal the state of the heart and mind that has led us to into these difficulties. It can be surprising just how much we hold on to things we wish to be freed from. It might help you let go if you reflect on what would be different for you if this problem is no longer in your life. Sometimes we might hold on to the pain of hoping to gain acknowledgement from a certain person who may just lack the emotional capacity and spiritual development to grant us a heartfelt apology. Sometimes we punish ourselves by holding on to pain, holding impossible and unhelpful standards of inhuman perfection when we could forgive ourselves and move on. Spiritually, we have the power to forgive and free ourselves and others. There is so much to be gained in doing so. It is a way to heal the heart from emotional poison, awaken inner peace and freedom, and move forward with our lives. As we forgive and enter the temple of our heart, we can see beautiful visions of what is now possible. Feelings of euphoria may awaken. We realize we have set ourselves free from the past. A constraint that once weighed heavily upon our hearts has been cast off by our spiritual will. Knowing we have such a beautiful power within can bring gratitude and wonder into our hearts. In the spiritual landscape of the heart, we let go of what we think and engage with what we feel. The true mystical experience of divine love is not just emotional, it is transfiguring. It helps us transform ourselves and our lives. This oracle guides you to immerse yourself in the spiritual light within your heart. A beautiful and uplifting outcome is being offered to you. Trust in spirit, let go, and receive. Healing process. Consider any problem you have been wrestling with, or a painful situation or interpretation of events to which you are attached. If you are willing to do so, you can now set an intention to offer that attachment to spirit through this healing process. Place a hand on your heart and consciously connect to the flow of your breath. Close your eyes and rest for several moments. Imagine, feel, or intend that you are now aware of your heart, experiencing it from the inside as though you were sitting in the middle of your heart chakra. From deep within the center of your heart, a pure white spiritual light begins to radiate outward. It feels joyful, uplifting, peaceful, and expansive. Now we practice bhavana, a Sanskrit word that means infusion. Allow the white light to gently infuse your being like a sacred tea, subtly perfuming and enriching your soul. The white light is being absorbed into your cells, into your mind, into your heart. You feel more settled, peaceful, and blissful as this process unfolds. Intend to release your offering into the light. Now, letting it go from your heart. In the light, it can dissolve and transform. This process can be gentle and powerful. Sense that you, your offering, and the light are one. Complete this practice with manolaya, a Sanskrit word meaning immersion and complete absorption. Gracefully choose to let everything else go and settle into being one with the light. Take your time and gently emerge from your luminous contemplation when you are ready. Ground yourself and you have completed your practice. So I feel like with this Four of Cups, if we're feeling emotionally sort of connected or I don't know if stressed is the right word, but restrained maybe in a way, stay with your emotions and try and learn how to maybe release them today. In that release, we might be able to see and take action through the King of Wands that is underneath all of this. The King of Wands is going to be solely about our spiritual desire and what it is we truly want. Do we want to hold on to the pain or the constraint of something that is bothering us, or do we want to be free of that and maybe allow the water that we see here in this Four of Cups to wash over the path that we thought was before us and create maybe an opportunity or a new path for us to take? That is sort of the shift or the perception that I feel could be taking place here. This Cupio Dissolvi card is the theme of the week, so being aware of where we are feeling constricted, challenged, or not at peace is something we want to stay aware of and then potentially, ideally, release to the light, release our own heart to open up to different possibilities and what's available to us. Let's see what the Hidden Truth has to say as our grounding card today. I wonder how you feel. These cards definitely are giving me this week that there is something going on with all of us that might be in relationship to not only ourselves, but maybe another person, right? This I wonder how you feel is we might be questioning sort of how we're being treated by someone else or what their decisions are or you know, why they're doing what they're doing. This Four of Cups to me is also keyed into this I wonder how you feel. Like maybe we need to sit and stabilize our emotions, reflect upon how we feel about a situation. And if it's causing us pain, upset, or sadness, Cupio Dissolvi wants us to uh, release that to a degree, to understand that everything that we're dealing with sort of serves a purpose. And that if we find that higher perspective or that freer viewpoint from that more higher spiritual place, we can release it and we can transform ultimately our feelings and our opportunities that are in front of us, right? Or maybe how a situation is presenting itself to us. The Death card that we saw in Sunday's reading speaks to the idea that maybe there's something within us that is transforming within us that also will alter and transform our relationships or whatever it is we're dealing with. So allow that transformation to take place. Be at peace with yourself and be kind to yourself during this time and to others if you can, right? And if you're clocking other people's feelings, that's fine, but don't get too caught up in them and be aware of your own as you move throughout this day. That is your reading for the day. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope it makes sense. Please leave me a question or comment if it does. And also subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up button. It greatly helps me. And share the video out. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Take care.